अस्सलाम वालेकुम स्टूडेंट्स। हमारा आज का टॉपिक है स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ डीएनए। इससे पहले कि हम स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ डीएनए पे डिटेल डिस्कशन करें, थोड़ा सा हम रिकैप करेंगे हमारी प्रीवियस नॉलेज जो हमारे प्रीवियस लेक्चर्स से है। वी स्टडीड अबाउट द न्यूक्लिक एसिड्स एंड वी लर्नड दैट a nucleic acid is a long polymer of nucleotides, that is a polynucleotide chain. We learned about that there are two types of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. In the DNA, there are two polynucleotide chains, that is two strands. But in case of RNA, there is a single strand, that's a single polynucleotide chain. Whereas there are some other differences between DNA and RNA, which we have already studied. For example, in DNA, the sugar is deoxyribose, and in RNA, the sugar is ribose. And in DNA, the nitrogenous bases are adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. But in RNA, it is adenine, guanine, cytosine, and uracil. That is, instead of thymine, there is uracil. We have already read about the polarity of the polynucleotide chains. That is, the polynucleotide chain has at one end a free phosphate grouping at the carbon number 5, that is called the 5' end, and at the other end there is a free hydroxyl group at carbon number 3, that is called a 3' end. So that there is a direction or the polarity of a polynucleotide chain, that is, it starts from the 5' end and the other end is 3'. So the direction is 5' to 3'. And in case of DNA, there are two polynucleotide chains, and the two polynucleotide chains run parallel to each other, but they are opposite in direction, and we have already described it as that anti-parallelity. That means two polynucleotide chains or two strands are parallel, running parallel to each other, and but opposite in direction, and the property is described as anti-parallelity. We have already discussed about the complementarity of the base pairing, that in the one strand, if it is adenine, it is hydrogen bonded with the thymine of the other strand, and likewise guanine hydrogen bonds with cytosine of the this other strand. So there is a restriction of the base pairing, that a purine always pairs with a pyrimidine, so which is described as the complementarity of the base pairing. Now, but our topic is here structure of DNA. Let us start it with this, that it was in 1950 to 1953. During this period, significant knowledge was gained regarding the structure of nucleic acids, and this knowledge was due to the researches or the observations of several scientists, and these scientists were Erwin Chergaff, it was Maurice Wilkins, there was one more, Rosalind Franklin, likewise James Watson, Francis Crick, and several others. Due to the observation or the research of these scientists, the structure of the nucleic acids was determined. But the correct structure of DNA was given by Watson and Crick. In 1953. They proposed a model for the structure of DNA. This 3D model is known as double helix model. So the double helix model for DNA structure, which is the correct structure of DNA, was proposed by Watson and Crick in 1953. Now, the basis of this double helix model was on the two important researches or two important observations. One was the Chargaff's rule, and another the X-ray diffraction. X-ray diffraction pattern of DNA. Now these two studies forms the basis of the double helix model, which was proposed by Watson and Crick in 1953. Remember, this model got them the Nobel Prize in medicine and physiology. Now, first, to study the model of DNA, that is the double helix model, let us first study the Chargaff's rule. So, now Chargaff's rule. In late 1940s, that is actually in 1949, June 1949, Chargaff proposed several generalizations regarding double-stranded DNA molecule. Remember, the Chargaff proposed the generalization regarding double-stranded DNA. Why double-stranded DNA? I am mentioning here dsDNA, that is double-stranded DNA, because there is exception. In some organisms there are single-stranded DNA, which we will study later. Now regarding the double-stranded DNA in 1949 actually, now this was published then in 1950, May 1950. These generalizations which were proposed by Chargaff were called as Chargaff's rule in the honor of Chargaff. Now these Chargaff's rules suggest as the generalizations proposed by Chargaff are: number one, that in a double-stranded DNA molecule, the amount of purines and pyrimidines is equal. That is, the purine and pyrimidine amount is equal in a DNA molecule. In other words, it will mean that adenine plus guanine, these are the two purines, are always equal to thymine plus cytosine. These are the two pyrimidines and these are the two purines. So the amount of purines is always equal to amount of pyrimidines. Now here we can say that if we will take the ratio of the purines to the pyrimidines, that is A plus G divided by T plus C, this is the ratio of purines to the pyrimidines, this will be equal to 1 in a double-stranded DNA molecule. Now here, in the second generalization of the Chargaff was that the amount of adenine is always equal to the amount of thymine, and the amount of guanine is always equal to amount of cytosine. That is, A is equal to T and G is equal to C. So here we can say that from this we can observe that A by T ratio is always equal to 1 and G by C ratio is always equal to 1. तो यहाँ पर मैं थोड़ा सा रिकैप करूँ, जो जनरलाइजेशंस पोस्टुलेट की चरगाफ ने इन 1950, इनको चरगाफ's रूल कहा जाता है इन द ऑनर ऑफ चरगाफ, और ये जनरलाइजेशंस है. पहली जनरलाइजेशन, पहला जो रूल है, दैट इज प्यूरिनस और पैरिमिडीनस का अमाउंट सेम होता है इन अ डबल स्ट्रैंडेड डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल. इन अदर वर्ड्स, A plus G equals T plus C, or in other words we can see A plus G by T plus C, that is the ratio of purines to the pyrimidines or vice versa, would be always equal to 1. And in the second generalization we find that कि एडेनिन मॉलिक्यूल जितने भी होते हैं डबल स्ट्रैंडेड डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल में उतने ही थाइमीन के होंगे, जितने गानिन के होंगे उतने ही साइटोसिन के होंगे. तो इन अदर वर्ड्स यहाँ पर हम देख सकते हैं कि adenine by thymine is equal to 1. This is the ratio between adenine and thymine in a double stranded DNA molecule. और इसी तरीके से guanine by cytosine, the ratio between guanine and cytosine is equal to 1. Why I am showing this? Because several questions in several competitive exams are asked on this basis. अभी हम थोड़ी देर के बाद कुछ questions इस पर लेंगे. So let us first describe third generalization. The third generalization or third rule of the Chergaff was that the ratio, base ratio A plus T to G plus C is constant for a species. That means all the members of the species would have the same A plus T by G plus C ratio, and this ratio varies between or in different species, so it would be different in different species. Here this aspect is very important because it is used for the identification of the species. Now one more we can deduce from this, and one more generalization would be taken here, that is the backbone of these polynucleotide chains is formed of sugar and phosphate residues, and it has been found that the number of sugar residues is always equal to the number of phosphate residues. So these are some generalizations which were put forth by Chergaff and are now known as Chergaff's rules. Before we will go to the another aspect, that is the X-ray diffraction pattern, let us do some questions which are important for the competitive exams. So here I am coming with a question. In board exams and several competitive exams, several numerical problems or questions are asked on this Chergaff's rule. So some questions I have here. तो कुछ questions हम करेंगे. तो एक question है हमारे पास. Let us have, there is a question that we have been given a DNA double-stranded molecule in which the percentage of adenine is 30%, and we are asked to find the percentage of cytosine. Now such questions can be easily done with the help of Chergaff's rule. As we know, the amount of adenine is equal to amount of thymine. Then if adenine is 30%, definitely the thymine would be also 30%. So adenine plus thymine in that double-stranded DNA molecule would be 30 plus 30, that is 60%. So now we can calculate easily the amount of G plus C. So the G plus C, that is guanine plus cytosine, would be the 100 minus 60%, that is 40%. Now if we are now knowing amount of G plus C, we know G is equal to C, then it becomes 20% G and 20% C. So the amount of the cytosine in that particular DNA molecule would be 20%. तो ऐसी बहुत सारी न्यूमेरिकल्स इस चरगाह पे पूछी जाती है. तो एक और क्वेश्चन हम यहाँ पर स्टडी करेंगे. DNA molecule has a base ratio of A plus G by T plus C equal to 0.81. We have to find whether this DNA molecule is double stranded or single stranded. फिर से समझे क्वेश्चन को। हमारे पास एक डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल दिया गया है और इसमें बेस रेशियो दिया गया है A plus G by T plus C which is equal to 0.81 और हमें ये बताना है कि ये जो गिवन डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल है क्या ये डबल स्ट्रैंडेड डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल है या सिंगल स्ट्रैंडेड डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल। तो इसको भी हम चरगॉफस रूल के आधार पर कर सकते हैं इजीली। एज वी नो द चरगॉफस रूल सेज दैट द अमाउंट ऑफ प्यूरिन्स इज इक्वल टू the amount of pyrimidines, that is A plus G is equal to T plus C, that is which implies A plus G by T plus C, that is the ratio is equal to 1. So in a double stranded DNA molecule the ratio A plus G by T plus C is always equal to 1, but it is here it has been given as 0.81. Now you can decide yourself, is it double stranded or single stranded? Definitely it is single stranded, because in double stranded DNA, as per the Chargaff's rules, the amount of purines is equal to the amount of pyrimidines and their ratio would always be equal to 1. But in the given question the ratio is 0.81, so definitely it should be a single stranded DNA molecule. तो इसी तरीके से बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन इससे पूछे जाते हैं और आपने ये समझ लिया होगा। तो हमारी जो वीडियोस हैं बहुत शॉर्ट बनते हैं इसलिए कि ताकि ये अपलोड हो जाए, कि यहाँ पर नेटवर्क उतना नहीं है, तो इसीलिए हम दूसरा वीडियो कंटिन्यू करेंगे और उसमें हम स्टडी करेंगे एक्सरे डिफ्रैक्शन पैटर्न और उसके बाद हम देखेंगे डबल स्ट्रैंडेड डबल हेलिक्स मॉडल which was proposed by Watson and Crick. Thank you very much.